And there was also major breaking news happening. Oh, I don't know why I'll fix that in the next stream. My video camera. But there's major news that the Peterborough's official plan has been approved. And there's new amendments, and it was approved at 4:30 p.m. today, and on the environment, and it might be on the environmental registry. There's no parkway, so this is amazing news. But we don't know exactly the exact changes yet, or I don't know the exact changes yet. This recently happened. So, yeah, so for the council meeting on the last Monday of the month, which should be the 24th of April, there will be the strategic plan for the city of Peterborough. A lot of it would have changed. Oh, I guess my highlights didn't stick. So a lot of that would have changed. The proposal. So that was one of the things on the agenda, but with the official plan having 60 amendments, I'm not sure how that will look. There's also the strategic. Oh yeah, the strategic. Oh yeah, I meant to talk about the urban design guidelines. Urban design guidelines have changed. The strategic plan has not changed. It's a future-ready city, and that will be bold, innovative, progressive, caring, vibrant, inclusive, prosperous, and sustainable. I don't really like the word sustainable because its meaning can be vague. But it's important to look at what's in the strategic vision, so that you can convince council members about the issue fitting within that vision. There's trust and integrity. There's stuff about natural heritage, biodiversity, opportunities to work together, ethical, and using some of this language in your arguments about environmental issues will be important, or could uplift your argument about protecting natural spaces, or doing any other environmental initiative. There's a commitment to low carbon emissions. Yeah, so a lot of the stuff talked about at the general committee meeting would have changed. due to the official plan being changed. I'm trying to download it now, but it doesn't seem to be wanting to download. But here's the news from Joel, who's at City Council, Joel Kovak. These are tweets. The new official plan took... Oh, I'm not at the top. Jeff Liu mentioned the new official plan for Peterborough has received final approval from the provincial government. And it was waiting approval from Queen's Park. It took 15 months. It doesn't include the parkway extension. Took 10 years to develop. It nixes any future extension of the parkway. And then there's more information coming about the parkway. Will this load? Oh. One of the files when it load. Okay, so it was showing like changes to the wetland evaluation system. I was just going to say that there was major changes to the wetland evaluation system. Yeah, major changes, and some of the wetlands that are currently provincially significant wetlands are no longer protected because of changes to the wetland evaluation system. And I can get more into that on a different episode. But the NASA Mills complex wetland is at risk of losing provincial significant status because an entire section on endangered species was removed from the wetland as a result of changes to provincial policy wetland evaluation system. And that's enough points to cause that particular wetland to lose provincial status. And individual wetlands can be evaluated as well. They don't allow complex wetlands to be included in evaluation anymore. So there's a huge risk of wetlands being lost, and I could dedicate an entire episode to it. But I lost the highlights that I made on that. And on the reports that I made. And I see that, yeah, the official plan is still loading, so I won't. I might not be able to talk about that, but hopefully, sometime this week I'll talk about changes to the official plan. So there's this article. Ontario's trying to make it easier to convert land into new suburbs again. And this is in the Narwhal. Hours before the long weekend, this past weekend, Doug Ford announced another round of changes to development in Ontario. And critics said that it would weaken environmental oversight and contribute to disappearance of vital farmland and mandate sprawl. So there's already been like cases of the government of Ontario forcing urban sprawl onto municipalities, I don't know if that's the case here. I know Kevin Monaghan might be um, impacted. And then there's the Housing Helping Home Buyers Protecting Tenants Act, or Bill 97, and a new provincial planning statement. And this is in the environmental registry as well. Um, and it will be easier for municipalities to sprawl outward as natural and agricultural land that was once protected becomes more subject to the whims of city council. And we know that the Peterborough City Council has advocated for urban sprawl, and that uh, the Environmental Commissioner of Ontario has indicated that municipal governments have failed to meet density targets. Um, so, yeah, several municipalities were told to expand their urban boundaries, and then those contradictory um, and changes in the proposal in the bill. Those proposals increase density in transit-rooted communities and downtown cores, but also making it easier for cities to build single-family houses everywhere else, including on land designated for businesses and industry. And I was told, I'm just getting the quote, um, that the height of buildings was struck down. Oh, okay, so the height of buildings. Oh, height of buildings was struck down. There might be tall buildings in the downtown. By one of the reporters that I know. Um, and then those climate change considerations, but in allowing uh, more development, um, coal-centric, uh, there will be increased emissions as a result of larger houses and reliance on vehicles. Steve Robichaud, Hamilton's chief planner, said in an interview in this article, quote, every time there's a new provincial policy, we have to stop to review it, we have to report it to council, wait for the province's final decision, and then look at how to re-engineer our entire processes to implement that provincial decision. So that's what the city of Peterborough is likely doing. They have to rethink every single plan as a result of the changes. And those like over 60 changes, and I hopefully I get a chance to look at some of them. Oh, and then I want to see if anyone has. I'm just watching my stream, seeing if there's any new chats. So they're upending the growth plan. Hopefully I still have. Okay, here it is. So they have already scaled down density targets that were not being met, and they greenlit lighted development in areas that won't service by municipal water or wastewater services, which increase cost for municipalities. Um, they made tweaks to the process. There's one that removes rules requiring municipalities to demonstrate the need to expand before they push their open boundaries outwards. So that means that there's even a greater incentive to not densify. There's really no incentive for municipalities to increase density because they don't need to show the need to expand the borders. So that's a huge thing with carbon Monaghan. Um, and it will force 444 municipalities to grow in the same way from this article. So, like Hamilton and Thunder Bay, given in this example, but it could be like Peterborough and Thunder Bay, or different have different needs based on geography and existing infrastructure. Um, so there's a significant hit to farmland, and the government has been facing increasing pressure to open up the green belt even more than it already has. And then they're strengthening controversial zoning powers, so they're going to be even more strong. So, Housing Minister Koch could override local planning processes to instantly change the rules of how a specific piece of land can be used. And that makes wetlands and agricultural sites further at risk. And for an example of how rarely this used, the previous governments have used once a year, but the Ford government has used 100 times, over 100 times since 2019. Um, so, and then like this is like breaking 30-year records in 4 years. Um, and then they would allow the government to hand down municipal zoning orders even if they don't comply with other provincial rules, like protecting farmland and wetlands. So that I already said that. So even if provincial significant a wetland is provincially significant, it's still at risk. Even if it passes all the original hurdles. Um, Ontario is making it easier to build houses on industry and employment lands. Um, so where are all people going to go to work? Municipalities set aside land for employment for a reason so that the city has people, enough jobs for people. So people are going to end up commuting further and further distances. Um, and then those comprehensive review is being eliminated, as well as land needs assessment. So those are huge issues. And if you have a longer commute, you're going to have increased greenhouse gases. There's no maximum temperature. We know that people have died as a result of extreme heat. So this is a huge issue. And then people have increased costs as a result of um, electricity. So let's see. So though that's the new legislation that's happening. A lot of the information was from the NOAA. I'm just going to go to the environmental registry because I saw that there was a lot of topics there. And then on the environmental registry, I'll go to search the registry. Comments, open, proposal. Oh, I won't go notice stage. Notice type, policy, regulations, and act. I saw a bunch of them. So quickly go over some of them if it'll load. So there's a lot of new ones. Um, so there's a site plan for residential development of 10 or fewer units, two proposed new municipal regulations under the Planning Act and the City of Toronto Act. That has number 019-6822. And you can comment on that until May 24th, 2023. Proposed Building Code Act 1992 change for unorganized territories. That has the number of 019-6847, and you can comment on that until May 6, 2023. Proposed Planning Act, City of Toronto Act 2006, and Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing Act changes. So this is dealing with Bill 97, and this has a number of 019-6821, and you can comment on that until May 6, 2023. Review of proposed policies adopted from Place to Grow and provincial policy statement to form a new provincial planning policy instrument. And that has a number of 019-6813, and you can comment on that until June 5th, 2023. And I'll probably go into I hope to go through some of these in more detail. I hope to have time because these are big changes. Proposal to allow the insurance of licenses for new dog, train, and trail areas and transfer of licenses. 019-3685. You can comment on that until May 18th, 2023. Proposed changes to the OGSRA to regulate projects to test or demonstrate new or innovative activities such as geologic carbon storage and to safeguard people and the environment. That has the number of 019-6752. You can comment on that until May 18th, 2023. Updating the Ministry of Public and Business Service Delivery Statement of Environmental Values. That has the number of 019-6884, April 30th, 2023. Update to the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Sports Statement of Environmental Values, and that has the number of 019-6806. You can comment on that until April 30th, 2023. Prescribing Invasive Species Act 2015, instruments under the Environmental Bill of Rights. This has the number 019-6732, and you can comment on that until May 15th, 2023. Moving to Project List Approach under the Environmental Assessment Act. This has the number 019-4219, and you can comment on that until May 9th, 2023. And then the last ones are this one was like April 11th, so I won't talk about it. Evaluating municipal cost environmental assessment requirements for infrastructure projects. You can comment on this until May 9th, and it has 019-6693. And then there's proposed regulatory changes to closure plan rehabilitation requirements for advancement, exploration, and mine production, and addressing additional class facilities to the list, such as classes that are excluded from the definition of mine. This has number 019-6750. You can comment on this until April 23rd. And then there was a proposal to make consequential administrative amendments to several regulations under the Mining Act. This has 019-6749, April 23rd. I'll skip April 16th. There's a couple on April 16th. And May 14th is the last one, IESO Pathways to Decarbonization, and this has number 019-6647, and you can comment on this until May 14th, 2023. And then it looks like it's still loading, so I will search here, and once it loads, I will talk about the official plan. So Peterborough. Oh. So some of the highlights were saved. So it's approval of the official plan on April 11th, 61 modifications related to the provincial policy direction, and then important for this show, protection of natural features. So I don't know what areas, and then it's final and not subject to appeal, so that's disappointing in terms of democratic participation. So public comments received by the ministry will predominantly focus on growth management in the new official plan, and one comment concerning inadequate protection of provincially significant wetlands. Comments received resulted in a series of modifications to the rural transitional area designation policies to allow urban development within the 2051 Horizon Plan. So that's a code word for allowing more open sprawl. A further modification was made as a result of a comment received, which removed the 8-story height limitation in the downtown core designation. So buildings can be taller in the downtown than 8 stories. And then it says all comments will reviewed. All comments reviewed were taken into consideration prior to decisions being made.